Standard treatment options are surgical resection, radiosurgery, and endovascular embolization. So it's basically a standard angiogram, and you can have the angiogram and the distal subtraction angiogram pairing, and you can actually localize them. Now you got the localization on the AP, lateral, and fuse all of them together. Then take that nidus and then superimpose onto the CT, and then you bring in the MRI and the MR angiogram and actually put them all together. It's typically when you treat a AVM malformation with stereotactic radiosurgery, it's almost a whole day procedure. You start your day around 7 o'clock and start in the interventional angio lab and then kind of go to the CT and MR. Occasionally you can skip one of the two and then fuse them all together. So you kind of basically the whole day goes on by right and there. And then once that is done, you basically outline the normal anatomy, and once the segmentation is done, you go out and do a plan, dynamic conformal arcs, isodosis. Once you have the isodosis, you kind of go backwards, and actually from the CT and MR, you kind of go to your angiograms and make sure that actually sits right on the nidus, and then you deliver the treatment. And actually this is, you can see an angiogram here, prior to the radiation therapy, stereotactic radiosurgery. This is about 24 months after. Once you do a stereotactic radiosurgery for AVM, the results are not immediate, so it typically takes anywhere between 1 to 3 years before the nidus gets obliterated. So the risk does not go down right away overnight. It takes the time gradually. So still they're at the risk of a hemorrhage actually within the first 1 or 2 years. But the risk decreases as time goes by. And for the nidus obliteration, what are the factors? Volume and the dose are important right in there. Patients that have actually a small volume, less than 2 centimeters, actually has a much higher risk of, higher chance of actually obliteration of the nidus. So also the dose of a single fraction of 20 gray. Obviously for higher lesions, bigger lesions, you may end up cutting back the dose because you don't want to cause the necrosis. Obviously a lower chance of actually complete obliteration of the nidus. A few examples. And the lesions that are large, if you can't treat them in a single stage, sometimes actually we do staged volume stereotactic radiosurgery. And obviously you can also do after a partial endovascular embolization and then add any remaining nidus with stereotactic radiosurgery. Radiosurgery for AVM is a complex procedure with the multimodality imaging and the participation of a highly skilled team. Radiosurgery for AVMs offers good outcomes. Dose and volumes are the important considerations for the nidus obliteration.